Tottenham Hotspur find themselves at a critical crossroads as pressure mounts on manager Thomas Frank. But there are signs inside Hotspur Way that the club remain committed to doing things the right way, despite whispers of unrest and a growing list of potential transfer moves. Recent speculation suggesting Tottenham are preparing to replace Frank has been addressed directly by journalist and transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, who confirmed that while the board are monitoring the situation closely, there have been no formal approaches to alternate candidates, and the club remain publicly supportive of the Dane. Romano's comments follow widespread fan and media discussion about the future direction of a side that has delivered inconsistent performances despite heavy summer investment and growing expectations. That investment is still visible in the squad, with new signings and returning players offering a glimpse of potential, even if results have failed to match ambition. Yet uncertainty lingers, not only about the manager's fate, but also about player futures. Reports from Italy suggest Napoli are interested in Tottenham forward Dejan Kulusevski, describing him as a dream signing, though insiders caution the deal would take a substantial offer to sway Spurs. Meanwhile, speculation continues over the future of goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario after recent mistakes triggered audible booing from supporters. Italian journalist Enzo Bucchioni claims Vicario is drawing interest from Inter Milan, who see him as a possible replacement for their current number one, with Vicario reportedly open to a return to Italy. Tottenham, however, insist Vicario remains their first choice keeper, even as other clubs begin evaluating alternatives, with Brighton's Bart Verbruggen reportedly among those under consideration. The club's recruitment strategy is also entering overdrive, with Tottenham casting their net widely ahead of the January transfer window. Reports suggest that sporting director Johan Lange is actively pursuing promising youngster Nathan de Cat from Anderlecht, a 17-year-old midfielder attracting serious attention, in spite of competition from clubs including Aston Villa. Yet doubts remain among some European experts about whether a straight move to the Premier League would suit a teenager so early in his career. Others believe the player might better continue his development in a less pressured environment before advancing to one of Europe's top leagues. Meanwhile, Tottenham's hopes of strengthening their attacking options have hit a setback. The club had reportedly been tracking young Brazilian winger Rayan from Vasco da Gama. But those plans suffered a blow after the 19-year-old signed a contract extension with his current club, effectively raising the bar for Tottenham if they want to reignite interest. With the retention clause remaining, any potential deal this month appears far less likely, at least without a significantly better offer. All of this is unfolding against a backdrop of mounting tension among supporters. Many fans remain disillusioned by a string of poor performances, and frustration has grown over tactical decisions, team selection, and perceived lack of ambition. At the same time, there remains a core within the club that believes long-term planning, selective reinforcements, and stability under Frank can still lead Spurs back towards contention. As the January window approaches, Tottenham's leadership face tough decisions. Do they stay the course with Frank and hope recent investments pay off? Or do they use the opportunity to shake up their squad and possibly their staff? The noise around replacement managers and player exits won't vanish overnight, and the decisions made in the coming weeks could shape the direction of the club for better or worse for years to come. Thomas Frank praised the character and resilience of his Tottenham side after a dramatic 2-2 draw at Newcastle, a night that saw Christian Romero deliver one of the standout individual performances of the Premier Team League season, while VAR once again took centre stage. Spurs, still searching for consistency after a difficult run of form, arrived at St James Park for their fourth match in 10 days and their third consecutive game on the road. They struggled in a flat first half, failing to register a shot on target for the fourth match in a row, while Joelinton struck the post for the hosts during a dominant spell. Newcastle eventually broke through on 71 minutes, when Bruno Guimaraes curled home a crisp finish from the edge of the box, leaving Spurs facing yet another uphill battle. Romero, back from suspension and wearing the captain's armband, dragged his team level 7 minutes later with a superb diving header from Mohamed Kudus's cross, only for the contest to swing again through a moment that sparked widespread debate. With the score at 1-1, referee Thomas Bramall initially waved away appeals, when Dan Burn went down following a tussle with Rodrigo Bentancur at a corner. But after being sent to the pitch-side monitor by VAR, Bramall overturned his decision and awarded a penalty, ruling that Bentancur committed a holding offence and clearly did not look at the ball. Anthony Gordon converted from the spot to restore the hosts' advantage, leaving Spurs furious and reopening the ongoing debate around consistency in officiating. Jamie Carragher, on Sky Sports duty, said he was surprised the penalty was given and described the call as harsh, insisting that Bentancur was simply trying to free himself from Burns' physical challenge. Micah Richards echoed that view, arguing that the incident did not meet the threshold for VAR intervention and that Burn himself did not even complain, while Jamie Redknapp questioned how such decisions could be given when similar incidents are routinely ignored across the league. Even the Premier League's own confirmation of the VAR overturn did little to reduce the confusion surrounding the call. Frank did not hold back in his assessment afterwards, insisting it was never a penalty, and warning that if such grappling incidents were punished universally, referees would be awarding 10 a game. He stressed that the on-field decision had been the correct one and criticised the lack of clarity from VAR, reiterating that interventions should only occur for clear and obvious mistakes. Despite his frustration, Frank was far more eager to highlight the mentality shown by his players, who refused to fold in a hostile environment. Spurs rallied once more, and Romano, already outstanding, produced an extraordinary 94th-minute acrobatic finish, hooking an overhead kick into the net to earn Tottenham a valuable point and complete his unlikely brace. Frank described Romano's bicycle kick as perfect and said his captain's overall display, both defensively and in attack, was better than many strikers. He also praised the travelling support, stressing how audible the 3,000 away fans were throughout the night, and how their backing reinforced the sense of togetherness the team has tried to restore after a difficult period. The Spurs boss referenced the fatigue of a demanding schedule, but said the response after going behind twice showed exactly the mentality he expects from his squad. The draw leaves Tottenham 11th in the Premier League on 19 points from 14 matches, a position that underlines their recent struggles but also highlights how tight the table remains. Frank pointed out that his side, despite their inconsistency, sit just 5 points behind third-place Chelsea, reinforcing his belief that the season remains wide open if Spurs can convert performances of character into consistent results. The controversies will dominate discussion for now, but this was a night defined by Romano's defiance, Tottenham's refusal to fold, and a manager adamant that his team is showing the resilience required to climb the table again. Tottenham Hotspur have stepped up preparations at Hotspur Way this week, as Ange Postecoglou pushes his squad through an intense series of training sessions aimed at restoring consistency after a turbulent spell of mixed results that has tested both the team's depth and resilience. Postecoglou, who has remained calm but firm in his approach, has been heavily involved in every phase of training, demanding sharper ball circulation, quicker defensive recovery, and greater composure in the final third. The Australian is understood to have held several in-depth conversations with senior players, reaffirming the club's belief that the squad remains capable of sustaining pressure near the top of the Premier League table, despite recent setbacks. A major boost for Tottenham comes from the increasing sharpness of key attacking players who have returned to full training. Son Heung-min has looked lively throughout the week, showing his trademark explosiveness in finishing drills and repeatedly stressing his desire to lead by example during this crucial run of fixtures. James Maddison, who has been carefully managed after previous injury concerns, took part in extended tactical sequences, operating between the lines with the precision and creativity that Spurs have missed when he has been absent. Their improved fitness has noticeably lifted the overall tempo of training, with teammates responding to the heightened intensity. Postecoglou has placed particular focus on reinforcing defensive organisation, an area that has recently shown moments of vulnerability. Cristian Romero has taken a vocal role in marshalling the backline during tactical scenarios, guiding younger players and ensuring that defensive transitions remain compact and disciplined. Mickey van der Ven has also featured prominently as he continues to refine his timing, recovery speed, and ball progression under the coaching staff's guidance. Spurs remain confident that tightening these defensive elements will reduce the costly concessions that have shaped several recent matches. In midfield, the emphasis has been on restoring control and rhythm. Yves Bissouma and Pape Matar Sarr have been tasked with dictating play during training sequences designed to simulate high-pressure Premier League scenarios, with coaches urging them to maintain composure when pressed aggressively. Tottenham see midfield balance as a crucial component heading into the upcoming fixtures, particularly against opponents who look to disrupt Spurs' build-up structure. Training has also featured extensive work on finishing and chance creation, with Dejan Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson and Richarlison all participating in high-intensity drills focused on movement, timing and shot execution. The staff believes Spurs have created enough opportunities in recent matches, but lack the ruthless edge required to turn performances into results. Postecoglou has repeatedly stated to those inside the club that efficiency in front of goal will be decisive in determining Tottenham's trajectory over the coming weeks. Off the pitch, discussions surrounding the January transfer window continue to gain momentum. Tottenham are expected to remain active as they evaluate options in central defence and midfield, with the club keen to strengthen depth in key areas to support Postecoglou's demanding high-tempo system. While no specific targets have been publicly confirmed, club officials have acknowledged they are monitoring several players who could provide immediate impact and long-term value. Despite the challenges of recent weeks, the atmosphere at Hotspur Way is described as determined rather than discouraged. Postecoglou's message has been clear: Tottenham must stay committed to their principles, maintain belief in the project, and match every opponent with intensity and courage. As the squad continues its preparations, Spurs know that the upcoming fixtures represent an opportunity to reassert themselves and deliver the consistency supporters have been calling for.